Hey, what's going on, everyone? How is your day going? How is your weekend going? We are having an absolutely fantastic Sunday. Hopefully, you guys, well, I was going to say, hopefully, you guys didn't miss me this last week, but I actually was, actually did do a live last week. So hopefully, no one is, no one missed too much. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Sunsets and Sales? How's everyone doing? Thanks for the likes on the stream already. Hopefully you guys didn't miss me in the time that there was like a few days. What's up, Kiara? There was a few days in which I wasn't posting. I was trying to kind of switch some stuff around. What's up, Flowers and Stars? Rosie, what's going on? I was trying to switch some stuff around with my channel. Obviously, I was going to switch the style and things like that, but then it happened with there were a couple I went out of town for the eclipse, which is really, really cool. That was actually a subject we were talking about in our last live. But also, then I was trying to get everything together and it didn't really happen or get created in the way that I thought it would. And then I'm going out of town this um this early this week. So then it kind of it didn't really go the way that I thought it would, but that's okay because it'll all go excuse me. I guess I still got like a little kind of phlegm or a cough from the last time I was sick, but um, yeah, I can definitely talk about the eclipse. It was really, really cool. It was really awesome. I know last week, I think on the live, I talked about how people were saying that it was like life changing, that it was second to their kid being born. I don't know about that, but it could have been that. What's up, Bye? What's up, Alexandra? What's up, Rich Air, everyone? What's going on? It could have been that I was actually thinking about making a video because I was like, I'm going to make the one and only specific person manifestation video in or during the eclipse. And so I was kind of thinking about that the whole time. It was really cool. So I was in Cleveland and it's the whole city, it turned to like night. It was nighttime in it because it was in the totality. It was really, really, I mean, a good experience, but if you totally missed it, I wouldn't be like that. It's the end for me. Like if you missed it, it would not. I wouldn't think that way. But what I thought was really really cool was it's almost like if you think about the essence or the symbolism of it. Again, almost if you guys see my latest video for today, everyone the quote I used was like, you can only be to others what you are first to yourself. So your conception of yourself is going to give you what you are seeing in your reality and what people kind of reflect in you, and this includes your specific person. But the way, and so Alexandra wrote the vibe of the video, the eclipse was called, yeah, no, it was like a calm and peaceful vibe, wasn't it? But so the essence of the reflection of like signs in your reality, I always think of like an eclipse. Think of it in the way of manifesting a specific person, because some people are like, oh, you can't manifest during an eclipse, this, that. But really, law of assumption would state your entire reality is just a reflection. So to say you can, or you're always manifesting, there's never a time you're not manifesting. What's up, Flavia? What's up, Emanuela? And so, with that in mind, I almost think of the symbolism of like the masculine and the feminine coming together, right? In that case, like the sun and the moon kind of coming in, kind of overlapping. They're in the skies, usually not kind of close, or maybe even sometimes in a lunar eclipse, the shadow of the earth is on the moon. But in this case, the masculine and the feminine were coming together. So everyone was one because we all have both masculine and feminine energies within. It's just what we are exhibiting. So everybody became one in that way. I think this was what was like kind of bringing people together and things like that. I thought that was really, really cool. But so, Richie said it was cloudy. I know I didn't actually did. I'm apparently I manifested that it was absolutely clear because I didn't even think about the clouds at all. Like, like I wasn't even thinking about, is it going to be cloudy? Is it not? And then so obviously when you have this assumption and your fears, whenever you kind of fear thinking about that, it kind of creates. So it was perfectly clear. It was a lot of fun. I love it. If you guys have not checked out, I thought it was really, really cool. The background to my one Instagram video or my TikTok video in the eclipse of like, this is your sign. You can see like behind me, like over here, the the full, like, it was in totality. You can see the eclipse. I think is really cool. You can see as well a couple planets, I think, like Mars or something like that. Also, Kevin said I only caught a partial eclipse because North Carolina wasn't in the direct path. Okay, okay, that's okay. Kevin, so no, you're not. That doesn't mean you're getting a partial manifestation. Um, who am I missing here? Alfavia said there's clouds too. Okay. Okay, okay. And so today I kind of wanted to dive further into if you guys have seen the video for today, and because now I'm like, you know what? Let's strip back everything when it comes to manifesting. Oh, Kiara wrote, love the video with you cooking in the kitchen. Out. That's so this I was trying to change kind of everything of what kind of the vibe is. I feel like it's cool to be talking here, but I feel like it's way more fun to be in the moment different. And so just kind of like a sign of like what we're creating, what I'm kind of doing to kind of switch stuff around. So hopefully you guys like that, because that's what we're going to be diving into more. But I wanted to do too what we want to do and what I wanted to do on this channel, because really what I feel like is the most important is the state of being. So it's almost like we need to like strip back everything that's happening. We need to strip back all the physical, get rid of anything that kind of gets in our way, anything like that, and talk exactly in the like only talk about what matters. Because a lot of the times, and I've felt in this way, and even in the, I think it was, wait, no, this is a different video. Never mind. I talk about sometimes like scales being the way, like you have a scale of your state. I always found that there is a scale between your physical and your spiritual reality, meaning that you are in a way always tipping the scale towards something, a understanding, or a state, anything like that. And I always find myself as well. I found the way to manifesting in the quickest possible way is to set this scale of oh, and Lindsay, I'll get to your comment in a second, because I was like, wait, what did you just say? So the idea is we want to simultaneously understand the power of where we're coming from, and that the state is always first. So I was like, I think I'm going to switch a lot of videos to more of like that style of understanding exactly what's going on. Lindsay wrote, literally, I just tried to manifest getting a dress for my business, and then she sent it. Said she meant to send it to the right person. Wait, what? Lindsay going, help me manifest. All right, let's all come together, manifest the perfect dress for Lindsay's the princess party. I love that. That's absolutely amazing. Everybody put some hearts in the chat for that. We'll absolutely manifest for everybody in here. And so another thing too, and I wanted to dive into it because it's just, I mentioned it in the video, but it is so important. So you can only be to others what you are first to yourself. So I want everyone to, especially in this live, because we got, I think it is available for everyone, but all my members, I want you to comment just something that kind of aligns with, or everybody actually, no, let's do this. Everybody comment, love is always on its way to me. Every comment, we're going to get into the state, we're going to get into a feeling, because our conception of ourself is what is repeating. So state, love always finds me effortlessly, or my specific person is always chasing me. That's kind of, because that was the essence of the video, of receiving and perceiving our specific person to pursue it. So my specific person always pursues me. My specific person always chases me. My specific person loves me easily and effortlessly. I don't have to chase. I always attract exactly what I want. And when we get into those feelings, those states, and create a different representation or perception of ourselves, that's how you change your external reality. And so I feel like sometimes I want to do, this is why, again, I wanted to come back to like the basics, law of assumption, understand this. Oh my gosh. Dominica with the 11.99 super chat. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that. That is kind. We everybody drop some hearts in the chat for Dominica. That's absolutely amazing. Very, very kind. Everybody wish Dominica the absolute best with their manifestation. Everybody drop some hearts. So Dominica, if you are manifesting your specific person, if you're here, we're absolutely going to send so much love your way and create with this again, and with this representation of, so Dominica, we're sending you the love, but with this idea that you can only be to others what you are to yourself, that's what changes and creates your reality. And you can see your specific person completely switch in this moment. Because I can't tell you how many people I've been helping, manifesting, coaching, kind of working with, that are creating and manifesting and having a lot of success, but still feeling like they are not. Like, it's almost like the problem sometimes with manifestation, this is going to be funny to everyone in here because we don't think about it in this way. But the biggest problem with manifestation is that when you do it, when you get into the state, when you perform it correctly, when you again represent or see and identify yourself as the version of yourself in the end state, you will see massive amounts of success come in to the point in which it will feel weird. It'll feel like too much is happening. Your state and change and your reality is changing too fast. And so this is exactly what we're sending to Dominica for that awesome. I don't know what the one means. Can you guys pick which like banner to do with those super chats? I don't know. But yeah, everybody make sure to put some hearts in the chat for Dominica. Put some hearts in the chat for absolutely everyone in here. We are all going to create, manifest, be with our specific person. And I think I missed a couple. I'm going to go back because I think I had a couple questions. Emanuela says, it is going to be his birthday. Okay. I was thinking about sending him a present with a message, but then I thought I shouldn't contact him. Will it be chasing? So I would say, depending on what we feel as if we're going to get out of it, this is the representation of ourself. So when you are, think of even staying in the same sort of theme that we are today with you can only be to others what you are first to yourself. What are you perceiving yourself as? If you were to send this message, because that's usually a question a lot of people have, should I send this message to my specific person? In that case, what is our perception of ourselves right here and right now? What is that perception? What do you feel? If everyone in the chat, just think about it. What is your perception of yourself? And so anyone can switch the representation or the way and the view or the reflection, might be a good one, of their specific person right here and right now. Literally, it all is the perception and conception of ourselves. So what is it? How do you view yourself? And that's going back to that question of, should I text my specific person? Should I send them a birthday gift? What's your perception of yourself if you were to do this? Right? What's the perception of the self that creates or feels like we have to do that or gives us the divine guidance in order to do that? Because really, there is no right or wrong. You can do literally anything you want as long as the conception and perception of ourself is in alignment with what we want, which I know sounds like a lot of big, crazy words, but it is the truth. You can do anything, act from the state, and it will manifest to what you want. You could even do something that messes up. You could act from a state that isn't in alignment with what you want. And if you then continuously feel from the end state or have an image or perception of yourself, your reality will reflect that. Because what is it that when we feel bad, like let's say we do, so let's say Emanuela sends that gift to their specific person. In this case, what is the perception of ourself? If we do not receive anything back, we don't receive a thank you, what is going to be that perception of ourself? What will it be? It will be, I feel bad, I feel crappy, my specific person doesn't like me, I'm this and that, like all that. Oh my gosh. Helena with the 199 super chat euro. Oh my gosh, says number one means first super chat ever. Oh my gosh. So Helena's first super chat. So we got Dominica's first super chat, Helena's first super chat. That's absolutely amazing. Everybody put some hearts in the chat for Helena. Everybody, we're manifesting for everyone. Put some hearts in the chat for Helena, for Dominica, for everyone here, for everyone's manifestation, for everyone's specific person, because that's how we're going to create the more love you send out. Again, that's your perception of yourself being reflected. And so going back to that, just wanted to finish up with that one. So whenever we're going to do something, ask yourself, by doing this, what perception of myself is causing me to do this? And so you'll see and find that's exactly what we're doing and kind of the motivation. Alexander says you were my first super chat too. Okay, I love it. I love it. Yeah, hearts for everyone. Hearts for absolutely everyone. Frida also says, I know there's a success up here that I was missing. Says I finally had a success. Meet my met my specific person's sister yesterday, and she told me their whole family misses me and hopes SP will get back together. So that's the exact type of success we're talking about. Okay, everybody as well. Put some hearts in the chat for Frida. That's absolutely amazing. Um, what else we got? Oh, Sunsets and Sales wrote my SPR SVP'd yes to my birthday and was one of the first guests to do say, okay. And I know, so Sunsets, you were manifesting that it would just be your specific person. So is that the case too? Sunsets and Sales, were you able to get that manifestation? If not, again, everything is going perfectly. Zero. So yesterday I had so many synchronicities. It was crazy. Like I did a Rapunzel party. One of the kids' name was his, and then boss assumed we'd be back together. Okay. Part one. We got more parts coming with Lindsay's success story. Sunset says, yeah, okay. I love that. Love that. That's amazing. That's perfect. And so just think of the conception of ourselves. So what do we feel? How do we view ourselves? Right. And it's kind of in the same way of only the loving find love, right? In order to increase or see our reality reflect exactly what we want, we just need to then be someone who is loved, or be or perceive ourselves as loved. Because even at the basis, we cannot receive anything in our reality that isn't a reflection of how we excuse me, we can't receive anything in our reality that we do not give to ourselves, meaning that we always have the state available to us at any point in time. And another thing too, which I really, really liked. So if you guys did not check out the most recent video, I think this is really cool. Remember, every single person is just as close to their manifestation as every single other one. Oh my gosh. Frosty with the 4.99 super chat says, as of late, I've been in an immense feeling of inner peace. I've been super detached, which I take as a win, as my manifestation is already here. I know it. I love that. Love that. Everybody put some hearts in the chat for Frosty. So Kevin wrote, did Kyle freeze for a moment? That's because Frosty was coming in. And okay, one. Now I know that one means the first super chat. Absolutely amazing. Everybody put some hearts in the chat for Frosty's manifestation, because that is absolutely perfect. And it just shows how you always have the ability and availability of the state at any given moment in time. And so remember too, whenever we see successes, so look at Frosty feeling as if, we got Lindsay with these synchronicities, we got Emanuela with the date coming up, we have Frida meeting specific person's family. All of these are really awesome successes, right? And sometimes we might think, yeah, but that's not my success. Like I have two versions of two different identities or reflections of self that actually get emitted or shown whenever there are success stories, right? The first is, that's awesome, I can do this too, when we see a success story. The other one is we think, oh my gosh, everyone's having successes except me. What am I doing wrong? But remember, and this was something I wanted to say on this live because I thought it was so good from the video I posted. And it's just something to remember. It's just a concept we need to keep in mind no matter what. Every single person, no matter where you are perceiving yourself to be, is just as close to their manifestation as literally everyone else. Now, say that again. Every single person, no matter where you are perceiving yourself to be, is just as close to your manifestation, to your specific person, to your end goal, your end state, as every single other person. Okay. So if you see a success, that is your reality showing that you can absolutely do it. And yes, I am meaning this as dramatically as it sounds. If you are in no contact or you're blocked from your specific person, you are just as close to your manifestation of marriage or relationship or whatever it is as the person who's going on constant dates with their specific person, who is hanging out in constant contact with their specific person. Everyone is just as close as everyone else, in the same way that when we perceive good and bad, this is something that also is not true. When you say there is something good or bad to do when you're manifesting, that's not the case. It has everything to do with our own assumptions and the values that we're placing. So whenever someone says this technique works, this one doesn't, that is for them, right? That is only for them, because you will have your own perceptions and your own understandings of what makes you feel in the end state, because everything is an exact reflection of who you are and what going back to this, the perception you have on yourself. Your reality must see you in whatever perception, whatever understanding, or whatever sight you have of yourself. Your reality will reflect that. And this is something I always like to remember, because anytime I kind of come out of the end state or think of something physical, and so I think, oh, I should have to do this thing or that thing, I remember it all is within. When you understand who you are and the sight and vision you have within yourself, then you understand why my reality is working out in the way it is. The state always comes first. The state is the end. You only need your state. If you're worrying about what to do, how to do it, what action you should take, and you are not in the state, you're going to find that it never works out in the way you want. So if you want, when we talk about manifestation being easy, being effortless, like think of again, everyone, no matter what state you think you are, no matter how far you think you are to your specific person or how close, everyone is the same distance, which is literally zero. But if we want to think about it, it's hard to think of a zero based distance. Everyone is the same distance away from any manifestation. It doesn't matter if you've done all this, we're just reflecting a state, which again might feel really, really good for people who feel like they are not doing so well as compared to people who are like, oh, so people who are feel like they're really close, but really truly it's all a state. You can jump, surpass, speed up to, like this. There's like the term speed really doesn't make sense when it comes to manifestation, because really it is, you already have it, but you can jump to any state you want. It's all your perception of yourself, which can change right now. And I know I keep saying this, but it is so important. I can't tell you how much internally I'm just vibing with this idea. And it's been absolutely, I've been implementing it massively and seeing really, really cool things happen. Like the more you think about what to do, the more it pulls you out of the state. It really is your perception. And sometimes trying to do too much is an exact representation of you are perceiving yourself as someone who isn't good enough. You have to compensate by other things. In the same way that I've found, and it kind of goes into what Emmanuel was saying, sometimes we feel like we have to compensate by 3D kind of sorts of things with like presents or objects or doing things extra. That's also something that we feel and we might perceive we have to do in order to change our specific person's mind. But then just think about the perception of self that we are creating. We are not someone who then is chased. We are someone who does the chasing, and that's the perception. And if you can literally take this quote as serious as possible just for today, so again, you can only be to others what you are first to yourself. This encompasses to me the entire understanding of what to do and where to focus your attention when you are manifesting. I feel it is absolutely perfect. And if it's the only thing that you remember, the only thing you gain from this video, just remember, again, write it down, think about it, write it in the front of your journal, wherever. You can only be to others what you are first to yourself. There's no waiting. You're not in response to your reality, right? And let me read some comments. I'm kind of missing those. So, Kevin wrote, how does 3D Pro out? How does 3D Pro out of two people are manifesting the same person? So this is all an illusion. Whenever we seemingly are manifesting the same person, tell me someone who's manifesting your specific person. I'll wait. Right. What's up, Sarah? How's it going? There is no perception. We're all in our own reality, creating and manifesting. And Bashar actually said it perfectly, because I feel like Bashar has some really good things to say sometimes. It was like, we feel as if we're under the illusion that we're all manifesting the same thing, but we actually are seeing different aspects of the same thing. So two people are never manifesting the same thing, even though it may look like it on the surface. And again, remember, you almost create and have your own reality. Everyone is you. Everyone is this creation or reflection of self. Okay. So it's all like, not getting too deep into it, we're all like this consciousness, right? And so you are everyone. And so just in the same way that whenever someone worries about a third party and I tell them third parties are working in your favor, nobody believes me. And people who manifest faster sometimes have a third party. And I know this sounds bizarre, but it's like everyone and everything is a conduit, or I'm trying to think of a better phrase for it. Everyone and everything in your reality is helping you. you should thank the third party. And everyone's now like mind blown. What? I should thank the third party. It's like, yes, because the whole understanding, the only reason, again, that we are seeing a third party as competition is the same way that we are having a different perception of self and it's being reflected. Okay. Because the only reason a third party could be, yeah, everybody type thank you, third parties in the chat, like Alexandra did, because the third parties are just another way of taking you where you want to go. Because think about if you wanted to, let's say you were God, you were your higher self, you are whatever you want to call it, as we are, this control of the universe, but you were sitting from a spot in which you could see yourself. How would you instill patience within you? Right. And you'd say, oh, maybe I would make myself wait in line, right? Because I have to change my perception of myself to see a perception change in our reality. So we have to be patient to then see this patience begin to react. And so a third party, even if we hate them, and then we shouldn't really hate or have any sort of essence in that. But let's say we don't know that the third parties are working out in our favor and we dislike them to the death. We are learning massively by doing this. We are understanding, would we have changed without this? Right. So it's like everything is working out, even if it's perceivably bad and we are responding negative, it still is helping us go exactly where we want to go, no matter what. There's no exceptions to this idea. Everything in your reality is positive if we are viewing it in that way. Now, we can totally dismiss it and miss these positives happening. Things can help you and you miss it, right? Someone could help you, I don't know, maybe like bring you lunch or put some extra food in your fridge. And if you didn't understand it, you'd have no one to thank, right? And you would totally not get it. You will still reap the benefits. And I know, again, sounds funny from the third party. You'll reap the benefits of your reality. Are you going to accept them though? Are we going to accept the positivity that comes from everything? And this includes a third party. So I love everybody commenting. Thank you, third parties. And I don't know if anyone has ever heard, someone commented as well, which seemed very confusing because I'm like, I guess maybe this is just an idea because I'm pretty sure I haven't really heard anyone talk about third parties, but someone was like, I've never heard the concept of third parties be spoken to in this way, but it is the truth. Everything, you can turn the same exact idea to something good as bad just on our perception. You can only be to others what you are first to yourself. Are you feeling like the best? Are you feeling as if you're someone who is chased, pursued? Are you feeling as if someone who is confident, loved, desired by their specific person? That's the feeling. And that's why I keep saying this quote, but I absolutely love it. It's like a really good way to just encompass everything that you talk about, or the whole idea of law of assumption as it is in like a one sentence, quick little thing. And so always keep that in mind. Everything is working out in your favor. There are no exceptions to this at all. And Alexandra wrote, yes, you're the first I've heard say, said it and it makes sense. So much sense. Okay. Hopefully it's making sense to everyone because it truly is. No matter what it is, no matter what you're perceiving is going against you, if you are in the state, it will thus change its demeanor on your reality or your timeline to then match exactly what you want. Meaning that if something bad happens, quote unquote, like, and I keep putting the quotes up because bad and good are totally inexistent. There is nothing bad and nothing good. You don't have to do stuff to be good enough to manifest your specific person. Like, think about this. And this is also going to be a strange idea potentially, but it's really, really good to know and think about. If you think, oh, I have to stop drinking alcohol to be with my specific person. I have to work out to be with my specific person. I have to do this. I have to do that. People who did this aren't going to receive it. People who do this are. That is completely made up. The only thing that matters is your own perception of why you're doing it, right? So it's the same idea that when we think of, we'll all have like our own opinions or ideas, but these will just reflect in our reality. In the same way, is a carnivore diet or a vegetarian diet the way to go? Is this a way to be healthy? And it's like both are ways and routes in their own way. Both are okay and perfect as they are. There is the more we kind of judge one or the other, the more we're actually creating negativity in our realm, right? And the only way actually to go above and beyond each of them. So let's say, because there was this video of someone talking that they wanted to be a vegetarian, but they felt so much healthier eating meat. And it's like, okay, until they understand that the good and the good and the opposite, and the understanding that there is nothing negative, that's how they're going to overcome it. That's how someone then can be a vegetarian if they so choose to be and reap the same exact rewards or benefits because they're in the general consensus assumption, meaning that there are certain things in our reality that just are like universally accepted. Like it would be like kind of like the laws of physics laws, right? It's like they feel very like straight to the point. We're all affected by them. Maybe like gravity, maybe the sun setting or a day lasting 24 hours. We feel all in relation to this. But this is something that will totally release you from everything that you're doing, everything you feel as if you need to do. You do not have to be good to manifest your specific person. You just have to be like inherently what you feel is good. You just have to be acting from a state that aligns and has a positive perception in the way that you are seeing your reality in that way. Because again, let's say if your specific person, you have to, if you feel you have to do something to receive your specific person, you have to be, everybody know the whole concept of like Neville Goddard and Neville tried to do that. Neville tried to stop drinking, stop smoking, stay abstinent. And Abdullah came up to him and said, "You're absolutely crazy. You're becoming so good, you're good for nothing," right? Because what's the perception of ourself? If we're doing things that we feel are just good, we are then thus thinking we are at the current moment bad. And our perception of ourselves and the whole demeanor and the reason and the motivation in which why we are actually doing these things is actually a result of ourselves feeling bad. Okay. That's the whole point. There is, and I know everyone's going to have their own opinion, their own lifestyles. That's okay. But remember, there technically is nothing bad about smoking. There's nothing bad about drinking alcohol. There's nothing bad about literally anything. Now, the motivations and desires and the states and the perceptions behind them can be perceived in that way, but there is technically nothing that is bad, and you don't have to condition your circumstances, meaning you have to do A, B, C, D in order to create it. Because I did the same thing in my past. I was this person. I was thinking, I was like Neville, exactly like Neville. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to be good. I have to do this in order to create what I want. And if you don't follow that, I felt, oh, you won't be in the state and you won't be able to do it. But good and bad, it's kind of like Neville Goddard mentioning or talking about he uses the example of the forbidden fruit as this. Like the forbidden fruit is like forbidden knowledge, right? That is when we begin to term things as good or bad. Okay. That's the term that is creating that. Now, again, we're going to always be in the perception of like good or bad, but never feel as if you have to do certain things in order to create it. Now, we probably have this idea because we're going to say, but isn't like, because this is something, I'll quote it almost from Neville Goddard exactly. He talks about how most people would say then, so what about someone who wants to murder someone else, right? What if that was the case? What if somebody wanted to inflict pain or this or that upon someone else? And now I'll say, this person does not actually want to inflict pain. When you do something that is motivated, that is, again, generically bad, right? It's because we feel as if there is no other way. And the way termed in the book, I think it's like At Your Command by Neville Goddard, he discusses how the person that wants to hurt, no one wants to hurt anyone. They just think it's the only outcome that they have, which again is this negative perception as it is. They know it's not what they truly want. Because then that's like what sinning is in the Bible, according to like Neville Goddard. Sinning is just missing the mark and not doing exactly what you want. Nobody wants to hurt someone else. Someone maybe want to get away from somebody and may think that they do not like their impact on their life. That in itself is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But the abundant thinking and the lack thereof it, which leads to the example of people hurting or something bad happening, is a result of a lack of abundance. And so whenever we are doing anything, whenever we're creating something, whenever we're manifesting, it usually is any perception. If you're thinking something bad, it's a lack of abundance. It's a lack of perception. Okay. Let me make sure I'm getting everyone's questions as well. So Linda wrote, what am I doing wrong? When I know my SP wants me and I feel safe and married to him in my mind, but I've not heard from him. So in this case, we need to remember, what is the perception of self? Your specific person. So everybody listen to this. This is really good. Your specific person can want you. your specific person can be married to you in your mind. Do you feel like someone who is wanted? Do you feel like you are married? Okay. What is your perception of your specific person on yourself? This is a good way in order to think or create. If we think anything external, they want to talk to me, they want to chase me, they wanted this, they wanted that. You can only be to others what you are first to yourself. You have to be that first and foremost as a generality, meaning that every single person around you perceives you in that same way, but it comes from yourself. Okay. Because many times people would talk about, sorry, I'm like, I'm going so crazy. I'm just spitting everywhere. Because people talk about the concept of their being pursued by their specific person. But then they go, yes, I must be doing something wrong though, because other exes, other people in my reality are repeating that. I don't want my other exes. I want my specific person. If you are a pursued person, you will be pursued everywhere. If you are a loved person, you will be loved everywhere, right? It's the perception. If you are thus someone who is loved or pursued, you cannot see the opposite. So when we think about, okay, I know my specific persons want me or wants me. I know that they make me feel safe, this and that. Do you yourself feel that way? It's your own perception, because you can think my specific person wants to chase me, wants to care about me, but I feel really crappy and unworthy. This thus creates the feeling of crappiness or unworthiness. And then we see our reality then reflect that as it is. Because I'll say this, I said it like 10 times already, but you can only be to others what you are first to yourself. You're never changing your reality. You cannot change a mirror. You can't look into a mirror and kind of change it in the same way that you break it. You can't change the reflection of a mirror by breaking it. And so again, it really is actually simple, which is kind of funny. And so you will see, so Linda's going to come back in our next live and absolutely be ridiculous with their manifestation. It's going to be going bonkers just by this idea. Because what I love about it, again, is it brings your attention exactly where you need to go, or what is most important to you and your creative, or basically your manifestation in general. So Linda, everybody in here, Linda's coming back, our next live next week, and it's going to absolutely be changed entirely by this. Because again, everybody feels and thinks that way. We think in a state, we think from the end, right? We begin to imagine our specific person chasing this, but in this way, or we ourselves seeing us in that light. You can try to manipulate, you can try to change everyone's perception of you. The moment you change your own perception of yourself, everything falls in line automatically. And it's okay if we don't immediately see our reality happen in this way, because what I actually used in the or Mika wrote something too that's really seems interesting. Where, I just wrote you an email about my SP reflecting the complete opposite to me. It is an SP, no contact. Okay, I'll definitely check that out. I love that. Mika wrote, nice to join this live. I know we're vibing here. I feel like we're spitting facts. When the idea of drawing everything back to its base, I feel like has a lot more impact than trying to do anything specific or talk about like anything else that kind of is a direct manipulation on your reality. But the cool thing too about this state of understanding your perception of yourself, and then thus creating and having it being reflected, is that you will then manifest whatever's logical to you. Because in the video, I include an example of people in my, I think it was called the group was like Manifestation Besties or whatever. It was from my group coaching sessions that I gave away. And in the case, it seems like a really simple manifestation, right? Oh, my specific person's watching my stories, right? Seems so simple, so easy. Almost like you're like, why are we seeing this success story? That sounds like a normal success story. It's all the perception or self that's going to create and change. If you're in no contact and you feel like the next logical step is your specific person reaching out, you, by changing your perception of self, is going to see this logical bridge of events begin to happen. If it then becomes logical that in the next moment, your specific person proposes to you, that's what you'll see. It's all in relation to that. And Kevin wrote, so I'm confused by Kyle's words because I think and feel. Because I think, feel. So I am confused. So let me know exactly what's kind of confusing. Anybody have questions on this? Definitely would love to dive into. Any members got any questions? I absolutely love that. Um, August wrote, I have to break or I have to take a break sometimes. I think I missed half of that, but I have to take a break sometimes because I become overwhelmed. That's okay. The feeling of being overwhelmed actually means that we're focusing too much on our external reality. Does it feel overwhelmed to feel happy right now? Would you say if I just felt happy, I felt confident, I changed my own perception of myself, looked in the mirror and said, wow, I am amazing. I am perfect. I am pursued. I am desired. What's overwhelming about that? The overwhelming portion means that we're actually losing focus of where we want to go. And I do that a lot. Like, not a lot, but I would say that's something that, again, because I'm trying to gain in so much information, kind of tips the scale of spirituality and physical. I was going to say physicality. Let's go with that. That tips the scale. Sometimes when you're too much in your 3D, it begins to make you feel and exert energy in your physical body, and that's why you begin to feel that way. So if you feel overexerted, you can instantly change it by, again, I'll say the quote one more time. You can only be to others what you're first to yourself. Stop trying. You could try effortlessly forever. Try to exhaust yourself to the point you would exhaust yourself trying to change people's mind, trying to change your reality, force it, manipulate it. As soon as you do the exact opposite, you'll see your entire reality begin to shift as a byproduct. Okay. Nessie wrote, I'm definitely getting more attention from men, and a real hottie helped me in the gym a few days ago without me asking. So that's perfect. That's a perfect reflection. I've had people in coaching sessions mention, like, have that happen and be like, what's going on? This is not good. This is bad. It's not my specific person. No, that is not bad at all. That's really, really good, because you can't be, let's say, okay, think about this and it will make no sense. And then it will make the nonsense of it will make sense to a specific person. Can you be wealthy in one area of your life and be poverty stricken in every single other one? Does money work that way? Right? If we are to then be let's say, like Jeff Bezos with Amazon, probably makes a billion, definitely is a billionaire. I don't actually know. Or like Elon Musk, right? Those individuals, like Oprah, right? They are just wealthy individuals. That's their state. They're wealthy. They can't have $1 billion in Amazon in marketing or whatever, and then be poor in, like, food, or like paying for food in the supermarket is what I mean. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, when you have wealth, it's everywhere. Wealth in one area increases wealth every single place. You can't have money in one area of your life and have no money in another. That doesn't make sense at all. Love is the same way. You can't have love towards your specific person and then love nowhere else. You can't be pursued by your specific person and not pursued anywhere else. Your thought and perception of self is going to change everything. You must reflect what you are. In the same way that if you change something in a mirror, every portion of the mirror shows that. Like, if you look, you take this mirror, and I know you can't do it. If you were in the mirror and someone else were to look from every angle of the mirror, and you were holding a marker or highlighter, technically, they would see you in every angle with the marker. When you are pursued, when you're desired, the mirror will display everywhere, right? Your reality will display. You hold this marker, it will display in every portion, every direction, every conceivable relation in your reality. And the same thing is the understanding of being pursued, being cared for, being loved. Every example, every perception, every angle must then show that. So this includes absolutely everyone. And so this is something as well that I think everybody in here kind of, I think, gets that. But sometimes this question does come up of, like, why is that? What's the case with that? How come people, like, why is this person showing up to me? I want my specific person to. This is the perfect sign. And actually, if we want to get into it, then the perception of ourself is beginning to increase and change who we are. meaning that the perception of self is beginning to align in such a way that we may still have an understanding that people pursue us, which is again the first step to our specific person pursuing us. But if we still feel like there's something, a different perception of our specific person towards us, then we will also see a difference in that. Let me answer some questions too. Um, August wrote, same, the balance of metaphysical, spiritual, and physical. Absolutely. The balance also of willpower, of assumption, allowing things to happen as they should. 100%. Sunset's coming in. Thank you, third party. Absolutely. Yeah, everybody, make sure to thank the third party. They're helping you just as much. And so, if no one has questions, I'll kind of keep going. And so, everything happens in this logical sense of events. That's why I almost wanted to touch on, because I don't think I totally finished that one. Was their specific person, like the success story from the video today of the individual who received and had their specific person reaching out to them or looking at their stories. We think again that's a lame success story. No success story is lame. This person is just as close to their marriage to their specific person as anyone else. Okay. And this can almost create a sense of enlightenment or understanding or almost peace, I would say, and that no matter where you are, you can make this movement, this momentum to change. Now, although I will say I've asked people this in coaching sessions that have ever worried about time, because the worry of time actually just creates it. So it's actually, we need to change our own focus of time in order. It's like the less you worry about time, the less time is created. But most people are like, why can't my manifestation come tomorrow? Who in the chat right now, and comment, just comment, you can say me, send a heart, something like that. Who in the chat right now feels as if they've thought that? Why can my specific person just come tomorrow? I want everybody who comments or has thought that, or in the next moment, why can't my specific person come tomorrow? We all think that. But I want you to think, what if your specific person did come tomorrow? What if your specific person showed up and said, let's get married? You know what? Lindsay, Patty, baguettes are nice. Nessie, let's get married tomorrow. How would you actually feel? Like, think from the end, think from the state. How would you feel if that happened tomorrow? Most of us would say too soon. I know we all say we want it, but we'd be like, that's too soon. That's too fast. That's overwhelming. That's a really good word to use. It would be a lot. So then at the same point, and I love that Baguettes Are Nice said this, because this is like a perfect example. This isn't for everyone because it's all the state. Remember, it's our perception of ourselves. Most people get upset with their manifestation not coming tomorrow, but then also would be overwhelmed with it occurring, as well as confused, right? And I like Patty writing confused and excited. What type of thing is happening within your mind when you give the same thing two different understandings or two different labels that are both positive and negative, right? It's a mixed neuroassociation. Our mind is really confused when something is both good and bad simultaneously. So if our specific person coming tomorrow and asking to marry us is confusing and also exciting, then we find that our mind will not want to move into it. So the point of the matter, and again, you can have whatever you want. It's all about the state. Emmanuel wrote melted, MW ecstatic, Kevin excited. Kaylin wrote happy. I love all those. And that's perfect. But remember, we probably also want like this bridge of events happening, which again is okay. We don't need it. Nessie said, I'd say yes. I'm sure everybody would say yes. They would just be really kind of confused. But the trick is then if our, and I don't think I've put this video out yet, but if we can rate, so we have the bottom of the totem pole. So what we don't accept is our standards. Okay. So there's at the bottom, I know we're switching gears right now, but at the bottom is our standards. At the top is our self-concept. So there's actually a limit to what you feel as if should happen in your reality. And again, this all goes back to the concept. You can only be to others what you are first to yourself. Your reality will only reflect our conception of ourselves. So whatever we set as a barrier of, I'd feel uncomfortable if it went over this, that's your limit. And actually, a lot of people who actually created, and this is the most bizarre thing, and we can change this again right here, right now, by just understanding this and knowing that a new state might be uncomfortable, you can overcome this. And literally, you are a step closer towards manifesting your specific person tomorrow and having them show up to you. Is when we see that, when something goes above and beyond what we expect or feel we deserve, And this is unspoken. It'll be a limiting belief. You can't think about it. Like if you really start to think about yourself in the situation, the limiting belief will begin to happen if we feel it real. But we will start to self-sabotage. You'll see yourself fight your specific person or return back to a previous state. And then so this means if we're feeling that way, and again, we only will know once we get there, but me telling you this right now is stopping it from happening, because once we're aware of it, then we know, okay, I'm aware of this. I can change that assumption because it really is a belief, really goes back to a perception of ourselves. So if our specific person shows up, it's kind of like the same way when you receive something really, really cool. If you ever do something really awesome, really amazing, and then you find that the absolute opposite feeling begins to take its place. We have reached above our self-concept and we're in an area of self-sabotage where we feel uncomfortable. We need to draw it back. Okay. This is where we would mentally kind of push off our manifestation, and it would be hard to kind of achieve that because our perception of ourselves would not match what we're doing. But if you raise those standards, you also raise your self-concept as well and what you are willing to receive or achieve. So then if we raise our standards enough, we can actually manifest and create that we'd be with our specific person tomorrow. Okay. And so this time does not matter in the way we think it is, but we never want to control how, right? The more we focus on how, and again, there's ways around this. You can focus on the understanding or thought of, okay, what if this happened? What state would I need to be in? That's really good. But never get too focused on the how that you forget or stop your focus on your end state. Okay. And we got a couple or kind of comments as well. So August wrote, I was talking about the name. Frosty wrote, I know I'm attracting my specific person constantly. As of lately, I've been attracted to people who have shown an interest in me. However, as they're not my SP, I just feel so. Frosty's giving us a really good example of making good, positive change. And actually, I would almost say this in itself is kind of like a self-sabotage sort of thing, where we're going above and beyond what we're normal. If we are feeling unnatural with people pursuing us and chasing after us, how could we feel comfortable with our specific person chasing after us? How could we feel comfortable at all? Right? How would we not feel just as weird, just as odd, just as strange if we're thinking this person kind of chasing after me, this person pursuing me feels weird or makes me feel unnatural? That's how we're going to feel. And we're going to start to sabotage it, or because our reflection of ourself, our perception of ourself is not matching that, we will start to see that that starts to begin to happen. And the absolute opposite effect begins to occur. Only because, again, remember, what you are in one thing, you are in everything. Your perception of yourself gets reflected entirely. If you look in a mirror, every angle that you can see in the mirror will showcase your image no matter what, right? So to everyone, to everything that is being perceived, you will showcase exactly who you are, what you're doing, your state, your perception, always. And so I'll say it one more time because I really, really love this quote. Maybe I love it a little too much. You can only be to others what you are first to yourself. What are you going to be first to yourself today? After this live, I almost said after this call. I guess we're all on a coaching call together. After this call, after this coaching session, what are we going to do? What perception of ourselves, what understanding of ourselves are we going to change? What perception do we feel of ourselves right here and right now? MW wrote, but what if you're attracting people who are not attracted to you? Wait, you're attracted to people you're not attracted to? So that doesn't matter. If you're, so think about this. If you are an attractive, amazing person, okay, is not everyone going to see that? Like everyone, everything in your reality, no matter how you value it, will see you that way. So you attracting people you're not attracted to, that doesn't mean anything. That means you're getting in the state. And guess who is going to be on the lowest barrier of someone who we're going to feel this to be true? It's going to be the people that we are not attracted to, right? That are not attracted to. Again, it's all a perceptual thing because you have there's no limitations. There's no stopping you in feeling that way. There's no limiting beliefs that would stop this person from showing up in your reality as attracting you. And so it's kind of like a stepwise process of belief as we're getting into the state. So if we're starting to feel pursued, everyone who we have no limitations to, no limiting beliefs to, those are going to be the first people to show up in that way. Okay. And this is the absolute, Frida wrote, I've been asked out on 5 dates next week by 5 different guys out of the blue. My sister asked if I did witchcraft. I don't know what is happening, but I think it's good for my SPS manifestation. So absolutely, Frida, you had something good. Oh yeah, you had another manifestation earlier. So it's like, this is exactly my point. Frida had a manifestation success that they posted earlier, right? And so in this case, we're now seeing behind the scenes of other things that are beginning to occur. And this is the case when you are having a perception of yourself of being pursued, being cared for, being loved, everyone and everything must reflect it. Everything is helping you. Everything is your there's a better word for it. I keep saying like conduit, but it's everyone is your agent to help you. Everyone and everything. Again, that's why I mentioned the third parties being an agent also. They are an agent for helping you, whether you want to see it or not. They are helping you. Okay. Chat wrote channeling blessings. I love that. So everybody, just put some hearts in the chat for absolutely everyone who stopped by today, came in. We're going to manifest for absolutely everyone here. Everyone is having major, major successes with their specific person. Everyone's going to leave here and think, what is my perception of myself? What am I going to create? Especially Michelle, thank you so much for becoming a member. Yeah, if anyone does want to become a member, because I think this was open, but just the members were only able to chat. If you guys do, click the link in the description. Thank you so much, Michelle. That's absolutely amazing. Put some hearts in the chat for Michelle coming in, joining us. For everyone, Michelle is definitely manifesting their dream life, manifesting their specific person. I've been recently also been attempting to change our member stuff to kind of create more and more success. So I'll when that sort of thing is coming out, I'll let you guys know. But again, if you guys want to hop in, the link is in the description. I have a bunch of meditations as well. But everybody comment hearts. The more love you send out is going to create, again, the perception of yourself as being better. But remember, don't change your reality, change self. Okay. Kevin wrote great scientific word agent, but it really is. Everyone is your agent. I love Michelle coming in. Everybody say welcome, Michelle. Absolutely amazing. Thanks everyone for all the super chats as well. And thanks everyone for stopping by. Hopefully, again, I recorded, I had this like mindset shift, divine guidance of creating the video today. And so in the next couple of days, I kind of pre-recorded a couple of videos. So they may not be exactly as no, they're going to be fantastic because I have some crazy, crazy ideas. So make sure to check them out no matter what. So again, thanks everyone for watching. Chad's watching the replay. Okay. Yeah, watch this as many times as you want. If you still don't get it, what I do is I watch something that kind of has impact over and over and over again until my mind understands it. So you can do the exact same thing. This will be always available. Thanks again, everyone, for stopping by today. Best wishes. Absolutely everybody in here is manifesting their SP. There's no way around it. You cannot avoid your desire and your reality at bringing you what you want. So again, thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in my video tomorrow. Or I'll see you if you haven't seen the video for today. I'll see you in there. All right, I'll see you.